You know, guys, I think that the name of the quest might be a little bit of a spoiler. I must say, Master Lebasseur, that I am extremely disappointed that anyone, much less a student of our upstanding establishment, would commit such atrocities. I am truly at a loss for words. Mistress of Vienne, if I may, do you not find the timing of these confessions to be incredibly convenient? It's as if Master Lebasseur has been coerced into admitting to crimes he himself didn't commit. Let's not rush to condemn a man who may very well be innocent. Yeah, let's condemn the guilty guy. We must also keep in mind that this incident will have repercussions that extend beyond the Scholasticate. The trust of our church has never been so high. Gee, I wonder why. What, you think lying for 1,000 years doesn't make people, think you're lying? If we were to expel either one of our prefects, both of them have strong ties to Samael, we'll lose any credibility our establishment still has in the eyes of the citizens. To this end, I propose an alternative plan. We'll make a full disclosure of the scandal to the public, together with an announcement that St. Endelim's and Scholasticate will be temporarily closed. This past time we pushed for a full reformation of the school and its curriculum. Whose outfits? Saturnau and Elvian or Scholasticate students in general? And there it is. The confession I've been waiting for. Ah. Unfortunate, because I will be getting the black and red ones. Confession? Mr. Briardian, explain yourself. From the start, I had my suspicions that someone was pulling strings behind the scenes. Someone who had secured a high enough position within the clergy to manipulate the students in the system. I poured through records, closely examining any who fitted this description. No easy task, but I finally found what I was searching for. Combined with the confession Theomacent obtained from Lebasseur, I was able to uncover the true culprit. Speak of you, Saturnau. I do not call you father, for you are no priest. Documents admitting you into your current position were all forged. You manipulated Lebasseur into carrying out what you yourself could not. You stirred up discord among the students and fomented the people's distrust of the clergy in the hopes of creating an even greater rift between the people of Ishgard and the clergy, all in the hopes of seeing the Scholasticate closed down once and for all. But I don't understand. Why would Father Saturnau seek the ruin of the Scholasticate? The answer to that would lie in his past. Over a decade ago, Saturnau graduated top of his class and was welcomed in the ranks of the Holy See. He was there. He was assigned work as an expurgator. Expurgator? What are you talking about? In all my years serving the Holy See, I've never heard of such a post. I was surprised if you had. Our holy body of decency, the sectors are comprised of a few select individuals, is perhaps the best kept of Ishgard's many secrets. Its existence is known only to a handful of people, besides the Archbishop himself. Hey, Moth. Welcome in. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow. I'm impressed, Master Briardian. It would seem your reputation is well deserved. Though I must correct you on one account. I am no expurgator. They're one of the so-called watchmen, consigned to guard them. That said, we shared a similar fate. Both expurgator and watchman alike were struck from official records and confined in the bowels of the Holy See, damned to live out our lives in the shadows as pallid husks of the men and women we could have been. All so that someday we might fulfill one task. Our written records were deemed too dangerous. Expurgators would serve as living documents, orally passing down our nation's greatest secrets. When the time came for the Archbishop's successor to ascend the throne, we would briefly emerge from our isolation to pass from our mouths to their ears all we knew of Ishgard, before seeking back into obscurity. Of course, no highborn man or woman would be condemned to this fate. No, this was a destiny reserved for commoners, orphans with no ties to the world above. 7 hells. So if the truth hadn't come to light, Theo and I, men and women forced to sacrifice their own lives, that our nation's darkest secrets might be preserved forever unbeknownst to our people, I can scarce believe my ears. Father Saturnian, the friend you spoke of. He was an expurgator. Such anguish did his duties cause him that he chose death over that wretched excuse for a life. While a new era is upon us, one that does not condemn the innocent to a life of despair for the sake of one man, it does not undo the injustice of 1,000 years. It was to right the wrongs of the past that I escaped that foul dungeon and made my way back to the place where it all began. This twisted institution, the place responsible for stealing the bright futures of young orphans, needs to be closed down for good. Father Saturnian, actions are heinous, and I can in no way condone them. That said, if there is truth to what you say, perhaps it would be best for us to suspend all lessons until we can reach a consensus as to how we might proceed. Mr. Sylvain, not closing down the Scholasticate begin to evading our responsibility as men and women of the clergy? It is our duty to speak the truth, not bury it. For too long the people have been fed naught but lies. It is time we took the initiative and gave them reason to put their faith in us once more. Must agree with CM Ascent. As I have learned firsthand, we must take care never to abuse our power and privilege, lest we hurt the people closest to us. Keep silent would be to repeat the mistakes of our past. The only way we can move forward is to take responsibility for our actions, and make an earnest effort to reach out to those who we have wronged. While we may never receive forgiveness, at least we can attempt to atone for any anguish we may have caused those who did not deserve it. If it is true that all men are born equal, as I've heard so many in this room preach time and time again, then all are entitled to know the truth, Let us lead by example, and freely share all that we have learned here today. Mother Saturno, while I cannot pretend to understand your ordeal, or stir the fury that is taken in your heart, I can promise you one thing. I swear, on Father Choice's copy of the Parables of Saint Deniphen, that not you, nor any of those who shared your fate, will ever again be forgotten. Thus all was laid bare before the public, the atrocities suffered by expurgator and watchman alike. I could not possibly have read that fast. Good lord. So it was that a new path was forged that day, one that would see a renewed faith in the church and its teachings, where the citizens would come to learn that all men should be regarded as equal, not only in the eyes of Halone, but also by one another. Archon, thank you for restoring peace to the Scholasticate. You reminded us that there is a world beyond these doors that relies as much upon us as we do them. You have opened our eyes and shown us that destiny is but the choices we make. If we are strong and persevere, I have no doubt we can rebuild the Scholasticate and regain the people's trust. Archon, now that your work here is done, I suppose the time for farewells is upon us. Will you be departing Ishgard immediately? It's sad to say farewell. Let's send you and the inspector off in style. Ah, there is my trusted associate. I feared I might not be able to bid you a proper farewell before I left. On behalf of my uncle, allow me to thank you for all your hard work. Still so much fighting and bickering going on. Couldn't you stay with us for just a bit longer? I feel that there are more pressing mysteries that demand my attention. Not to mention a certain young lady in Ul'dah who awaits my return. Oh, another client of yours, I take it? You know, is your head screwed on backwards? He's talking about his... Tactless fools, the both of you. But I suppose you're nothing if not sincere, eh, Theo? And while I'll admit that naivete is one of your more endearing traits, combined with the blunderings of the idiots beside you, it's like as not to bring this Scholasticate to ruin. That's why you'll need someone with extensive knowledge of the affairs of Ishgard, and the proper connections to actually bring about the change you seek. Someone like me. Words of a man looking to steal his way into our dear Theo's heart. Lazy, Lee, it seems you've got competition. Fury take you all. Call me what you will, but Theo would never replace me with anyone, much less a conniving snake like Archambadin. How refreshing it is to hear such playful banter among my friends. It would seem our worries are finally behind us. Before we celebrate, however, there is one last thing. Lazy, I'd like you to thank you for your support. Were you not for your meticulous notes and sharp eyes, the law would still be missing. Archon, Inspector, words are not enough to express our gratitude. It was only because of you that we were able to unmask the perpetrator and restore peace to our school. Just as Father Choiseul brought you to us in Gorgon Mills, I cannot help but feel alone guided you to us in our time of need. We hope to one day repay the kindness you have shown us by rebuilding the Scholasticate. Next you visit, we hope she will have retaken her place as the nation's top establishment of higher learning, and once again serve to light the people's way back to the halls of Halone. Our fair nation has seen our share of tragedy and turmoil, but I take heart in knowing that there are those such as yourself to watch over her, and see that she does not stray from her course. Till we meet again. And we get a piece of glam out of that. Two, really, at the end of the day. And that is playable in New Game Plus. Interesting. And with that up, it is time to head back to the MSQ, which right now wants us to go to Lemsilimensa. Also going to have a quest turn in while we're at it. All up there, let's go deal with storming the hall. Turn that in real quickly. Well, how was it? Did you give them elites the hiding of their lives or what? Come on, out with it. Patience, lad. All of them will know the tale ere long. Was a sight behold, not much, I will say. Archon and his comrades carved their way through the beasts and men like a cutter through a swell. Not even a visit from the sirens and the krakens could slow their pace. Eh? Pirates turned up at the drills? What the seven hells do they want? Why, to do their civic duty, of course. They invited themselves, as members of the Black Sails unit. You'd be forgiven for forgetting. The pirates' powers are still bound to the Maelstrom by the Galadian Accord. Of course, they never deigned to take part in our exercises. Well, Elon said stop asking. As for why they chose to grate this one, I reckon word got out that the Warrior Light would be facing our finest, and they fancied to go themselves. I saw no reason to design them. Admit it, you wanted to see if them old cutthroats could still hold their own in a fight. There, begging your pardon, Chief, but you alright? You look a bit sore. Don't tell me you... I deemed it good for morale. But I did not come here to speak of that. Archon, the Maelstrom is grateful for your participation. May we count you a friend until sea swallows all. Good day, gentlemen. Heck. I was stowed away on the ferry if I'd known the Chief be fighting. Seeing you in action must have woken the spirit of the old golden age in him. Oh, I doubt he's as spry as he was back then. I hope you didn't give him too bad a beating. Legends like Miqo'te never get old. Though the chief, well, he's just a man. Ah, let's get this little chat between ourselves, eh? Good to see you again, Archon. Thanks for helping out the chief. Now, where in Limsa are you, Philomene? I am taking a very weird path. Limsa really could stand with another Ezeranet shard somewhere up here. Okay, well, it's not up here. Oh, by the Arcanist Guild. Okay. Up. No, Archon. How have you been? Come here. Let me have a good look at you. 12. Here's the strangest tales in foreign lands. I'm worried about you all day, every day. Sent word sooner, but the Braves afforded us no opportunity. They fell upon us in the market. It was all we could do to escape. Thought to have found our way to, of course, but we were forced to seek shelter aboard a Hanish vessel. Pained us not being able to be there when you needed us most. But we made the most of it, didn't we, Coltonet? Studied and trained from dusk till dawn, we did. We would have sent word sooner, but we knew not whom to trust. And with the vast distance. But those dark days are behind us at last. I shall be glad indeed to return home and speak with my daughter. About that. Do you mean she's missing? How could you let this happen? Yeah, I control everything. It's all my fault. Forgive me. I'm sure you're doing everything in your power to find her. Sankrin must be. He watched over her from the first, long before me. And he will watch over her to the last. I shall pray for a safe return. I'm busy myself in the meantime. For a certainty, there is much and more to be done. The Braves may have bloodied us, but the path remains, and we shall not be swayed from it. Aye, that's the spirit. To the Siams and a long overdue reunion. Huzzah! Well, there you have it. To the Rising Stones. Meanwhile, elsewhere... Tancred?
Well
Hi,
done,
Kryle.
sir. And with that, I believe we are ready to proceed.
Let us be about our business, then. The next patrol may not be so credulous.
Why must you be so disappointingly brusque? You're not at all as Minfilia described, you know. I don't think you favored me with so much as a single compliment since we set out. Tell me, did your time in the wilderness sap you of all your charm? Or are you holding it in reserve for your beloved?
This is neither the time nor the place.
Well, call me old-fashioned, but when I'm risking life and limb infiltrating an Imperial castrum, I like to be sure of my comrades' motivations.
I see now where Alphino gets it from. Minfilia is dear to me. It is true. But not in the way you think. 15 years passed, when she was still but a child. There was an incident at a parade. A Gubu broke free of its fetters and ran amok through the streets of Ul'dah. Had I been more attentive, I could have prevented it. But I was distracted, and her father was killed. I feared she would never recover. But in the years that followed, she showed herself to be more resilient than I had ever imagined. And when she learned of her gift, she did not flinch from the responsibility, but sought to guide others on the path. She touched the hearts of all around her. Mine, Louisoire, every scion's. In those dark days following the calamity, she was our guiding light, our hope for a brighter future. She had so many dreams, and I would give anything to make them come true.
My apologies. I can see she means the world to you. I did not mean to pick at old scars.
No harm done, I assure you. But fair is fair, my lady. What is Minfilia to you?
Good question.
You mean you don't know? Only my dearest friend. When I finally emerged from my torpor, I learned that nary a day had passed without her asking after me. She never gave up hope. And neither will I.
Then for Minfilia's sake, let us pray that these vestiges of Hydaelyn's intervention will lead us to her.